Night watch. Hello out there. Hello out there. Welcome to Night Watch. You see in the title it says if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. I'm here to ignite you to start what you finish. All right? One reason why you are not able to get sleep at night, the reason why you're not at peace is because you're not using the better part of yourself, that divine part of yourself is lying dormant. Sitting here, I'm reminded of a story in the Bible that talks about the talents that were passed out. And I want to draw your attention to the individual who only had one talent. And this applies to many of you. There is one thing that you're really good at. And there are some people in our world, they are using one thing, and that one thing has impacted thousands of people. It's totally changed their livelihood, the livelihood of their families, and the world around them because they used that one particular talent. What about you? The story that I'm thinking about, the one who had the one talent, he took it and hid it. And I'm going to start right there. I'm not going to go into the whole spiel, but I want to stop right there because this is what a lot of people are doing. As I said when I opened up, some people are really restless. They can't sleep, walking around here stressed out, aggravated with people. When you see others doing good, find out about their blessings. On the inside, you really can't stand it. And then on the other end, you're like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I be happy for people? Why am I hating on my brother and my sister who's doing good? Like, they got a new job. I should be happy about that, right? My friend just got married. Now, I know her story. I know the trouble that she's been through. She prayed for a long time for her husband and she finally got blessed with one. But you feel some type of way about it. And you're like, what is wrong with me? I should be happy for my sister, right? I should be happy for my brother. Man, he overcame so much. Like his dad was in prison. He comes from a broken home, but look at him. He started that business. He's following through with it. He has a family now. Like his life has like went to the next level. And instead of you being happy for that person, you feeling some type of way about it. One reason for this is because you have not maxed out on that which you have on the inside. As I said, there is something divine about you. There is something that you possess that is very divine. Can you all hear me clearly? I see a seven on you. Seven of you here, nine of you here. Thank you for being here. Can you hear me clearly? I want to make sure. The one that I did yesterday when I watched the replay, it was blurry. People were talking, but no one told me I was blurry. I just want to make sure you all can understand me. But anyway, there is something that's very divine about you. There may be one talent, or maybe you have three things that are very unique. But the problem is you're sitting down on it. You're allowing it to lay dormant. And I'm going to tell you why you're doing that. For some of you, it's fear. Okay? You know how to sing, you know how to dance, bake, cook. You're good with children. Some of you are good with tutoring services. Some of you are hairstylists. Some of you have medical experience. You have several degrees, several certifications in different fields, and you're doing nothing with it. What internet? I'm Antoinette, by the way. So I'm going to talk like I'm having a conversation. What internet? I am doing something with it. I do it behind closed doors. I do it at home. I cook at home for my family, and I'm good with that. When your family eats your food, they're like biting their fingers. The food is so good. When you bake cakes and people on the outside get a taste of it, it's like they're slobbing out the mouth. Your stuff is so good. But then you tell me, oh, I'm just doing it at home. I just do it for family and a couple of friends. Why? The point that you have the ability to cook like that, to bake like that, or anything that you're doing behind closed doors that is very grand, don't limit yourself to the four walls of your home. Well, it's more walls than that, but you all know what I mean. Stop limiting yourself to just doing things at home, doing things at your apartment, just for your family. If you don't get out here and expand yourself and let the world know who you are, if you don't get out here and impact some people and change your life, your livelihood, your finances, huh? Your finances are dependent on whether or not you make a move or not. You were not born with certain gifts and talents just for your children to see it, just for your spouse to enjoy it, your family members. It's bigger than that, my brothers and sisters. It's so much bigger than that. As I said when I opened up, a lot of you can't get sleep at night. You're restless, frustrated, find yourself jealous of people, and that's not you. That hasn't been you, but all of a sudden now, these days, you're feeling a little envious of people. My question to you is, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing as far as those things that are on the inside of you? Are you letting yourself go? Are you letting your dreams and visions die? Too often, we get caught up in the wrong things. You get caught up in politics, caught up in the Super Bowl, what the performances were like, and those things have nothing to do with you. But the things that really do concern people, sometimes those are the last things that they yield their attention to. But now is the time for you to step out. Now is the time for you to come out of hiding. You've been talking to 7 people for the last 8 years. It's time to expand your horizon. And it's not that you can't expand your horizon. The fact is, you won't. Here are some reasons why you won't: fear, fears about how people will receive you, fears about rejection. Some people fear about people bringing up their past once they change and they're trying to do something productive, because you've seen how other people have been drugged down when people bring up the past. You can't be worried about that. You have to go out there and do what you have to do and be bold. That's something about people that will always be, people will always have something to say. Whether you do something good or bad, someone is going to find some type of issue with what you're doing. Somebody's going to criticize it. Somebody else is going to praise it. But don't let it be the fact that people are complaining, people don't like it, they're not liking, they're not commenting, they're not supporting you. That's the reason why you choose to quit. That's the reason why you choose to not let other people know what you're capable of doing. When the lives of your children can be better if you just let that talent come out. That talent. This is so simple what I'm talking about, yet it's difficult because so many people put themselves last. They find it easier to jump on board with what others are doing. They find it easier to put on the cape, the Superman and the Superwoman cape for everybody else, to be praised but for everybody else. But the dreams and the goals that you've always had, You won't get to those. You have fears. You have insecurities. You don't like the way you look. You've gained 30 pounds. Your hair is not as long as it used to be. You're going bald. You're missing a couple of teeth. Now you're divorced, so you feel like nobody wants to hear you now. Maybe you're embarrassed about some things that have happened to you. But I'm telling you, pick up your cross and walk. Well, Internet, what do you mean by the cross? Everything that's going on in your life right now, it's a part of who you are. It's a part of your story. Pick up your cross and walk. Stop allowing past failures. Stop allowing your current situation. Oh, you don't have this nice home. You don't have this particular car, so you don't want to create content. You don't want to take pictures. You don't want to go live and minister to people. You don't want to do one on ones and counsel people to help the youth, to help marriages. You don't want to do that because you're so concerned about the way you look. And people are not concerned about that. They just want what you have. And they're willing to compensate you for that. And even beyond that, are we not thinking about the impact? Beyond money is impact. What you say to someone today, 8 years later, 20 years later, their life is still on the right track because of what you said, because of what you did. And at the time at which you did it, you were going through a hard season, but you did it anyway. Because sometimes being selfless is a good thing. When you're saving lives, when you're helping a family rebuild, when you're keeping a young girl or a young guy out of the criminal system. Talents, man, it's thousands of them. And it's impossible for me to sit here and try to name all of them, but you know what you're really good at. And not using these things will hold you back. It'll hold you back from partnerships, opportunities, financial gain, emotional dysfunction that can be corrected. All of this, because sometimes when you use your talents, you meet all kind of people who can in turn be a benefit to your life. So it's not always about when you use your talent, you're going to make money from it or you're going to have an impact. Sometimes it's what's going to happen for you, the blessings that's going to come to you from you using what's within you. Some of you that are 50, 60, and 70 years old who are listening to me right now and thinking, internet is too late for me. My life is gone. No, 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 it's not too late. Because if you're listening to this message, there is still something within you that you're still supposed to do. That's why you're here. You're not done living until you take your last breath and you're out of here. Until that point, there is always something that we can be doing. Our light should always shine. We should forever be like the ocean, forever moving. A lighthouse out there in the middle of the ocean, shining bright, where people can come and find hope. But when you allow your divineness to lie dormant because of your excuses, because of your circumstances, because of your failures, because of your disgust for life, you got fired from a job, you're going through a separation right now, your children are not honoring you like they should. Life is just chaotic for some of you, and you're just like, I don't have time for that. I'm not worried about no one else's family except for my own. And I'm not telling you not to do away with your family. You have to pay attention to that. You have to prioritize that. At the same time, when we focus on what our assignments are, when we focus on our mission and our ministries, deliverance and some answers are within that. It's not always for us to try to make our situations perfect. Sometimes it's within walking out faith and honoring God. Our lives will be healed. Our world will be healed. Sometimes you put on the Superman or the Superwoman cape when you don't need to have that on. Your focus need to be on your assignment, and you're focusing on the problems too much. Some problems will work themselves out without you having to stress over it. Some problems are just distractions to take you off course. And once you're off course, it takes you months and for some people years to get back in alignment because these problems have distracted you so much that you can't even remember what you were working on. You don't even have the strength or the energy to get back to the things that were once important to you because the problems and the chaos have taken you off track. Get back to using your talents, your skills, and your gift. It's purpose in that. It's a reason why you have it. Like I say, this may sound mediocre. This may sound like, oh, use my talent. All I do is cook. All I do is a coach. Use it or you're going to lose it. Some people that are listening feel like, man, it's not there anymore. Internet, I don't have it anymore. Unfortunately, you may have lost it. It may sound like I'm contradicting myself when I spoke to my 50 and up crowd when I said that if you can hear me right now, you still have breath in your body, which means there's still more for you to do. That is true. But the season has expired for some things. 20, 30 years ago, you had the strength, you had the mental capacity, but now your strength has grown cold. Passion is no longer there. Your energy is shot. The people who could have supported you, some of those people have transitioned. Some of those people have moved away. They're not even in your contact list anymore. It's been 5 to 10 years since you've heard from these folks. So this is what I mean by, yeah, it's the season for some people. It's not too late for some people to get on board, but then for others, because you did not use it when you were prompted to, you've lost it and the season has expired. One thing that you can do is use your voice to tell others, hey, do what you have to do while it's fresh on your mind. If you have a goal, you better strategize it while you have the strength, while you have the support. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Stop waiting for the right time. The time is now. Because if you wait too long, baby, you might just lose it. If you wait too long, the people who were going to help you, they have moved on to other people. And you're no longer on their radar. When people are willing to work with you, support you, finance you, you better move on with it. It's not always going to be perfect. We always want what we want. We want it to look the way we want it to look. We want it to be packaged a certain way. For instance, marriage. Women want their husbands to look a certain way, sound a certain way. You want him to make you feel a particular way. You want him to smell a certain way. And the same thing with men. They want it a certain way. But sometimes we miss out on a big blessing when we want what we want exactly what we want it. Over time, we may get exactly what we want. But in the beginning, you have to work with the person. In the beginning, you have to see the vision. I hope this is making sense to you all. You have to see the vision. Just like a fixer upper house. A lot of people don't like fixer uppers because they're like, no, I want a house that's already ready for me to move into it. I don't want to have to fix anything. I want everything ready. Well, a house like that may cost you $750,000. It may cost you something that's way outside of your budget, but you may be able to find a fixer upper that's 50,000. You may have that amount of money. 5 years into it, because of the way you strategize, you've paid that house off. Now you're renting it out. And now that house is a blessing to you. It's a blessing to your family. You're able to build generational wealth because of that move you made. So this is what I mean by that. Sometimes we look at things and we miscalculate because it don't look the way we want it to look. But anyway, coming back to my topic. Use it or you will lose it. Use your resources. Take advantage of people who are in your life who can be of service to you. Some of your family members and friends who are gifted in certain areas, stop counting them out because you're too familiar when they can actually help you take your life to the next level. Some of you are good at writing, some of you are good at PR, some of you have the gift of gab. Use those things. Use those things to bring change to your life, to bring change to others. Use it. It is now time that we plug in and be empowered because the world needs it. I hope I've said something tonight, during these late hours, that have inspired you to catch on fire, to be ignited, to start that which, to finish that which you have started, to follow through with what you have started. And for some of you, you haven't started at all. And this was the message that you've needed to confirm that it's time for you to get the ball rolling. Do what you have to do and do it quickly. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.